Hello, welcome back to Trying to Watch 777. Thank you for tuning in, and also thank you to my new subscribers who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you, and I appreciate you. So, today I'm going to be talking about an Oakland County judge who called herself a new racist. Now, I know some of you may have heard about this story. I have heard about it a couple of months ago, and but anyway, she's vacates position after WXYZ investigation. So I'm going to switch over here and I'm going to read some of this article uh, by the WXYZ Detroit News and the seven investigators. Okay, so this is how she looked right here. She's the new racist, and thank God that she's no longer on the bench. They allowed her to retire. She was on paid leave for 15 months, which is absurd. She shouldn't even. Why can't? Is it possible that a judge can be stripped of their license or something like that? I mean, she should have been held accountable, but there's no accountability here on this. So there is a couple videos on this here, and I'm going to read some of this article, and then we're going to watch um, some of the videos. So WXYZ, a controversial Oakland County probate judge who was accused of making racist and homophobic comments, will not be back on the bench. Okay, so this is her, and I'll get back to the video shortly. Okay, the seven investigators were the first to reveal the recordings in September of 2024 of Judge Kathleen Ryan making several offensive statements. At the time, the probate court's former chief judge removed Ryan from the bench and filed a complaint with the Judicial Tenure Commission. Judge Ryan has essentially been on paid leave for 15 months. But her lawyers told the seven investigators she is now voluntarily retiring. Why? Unbelievable. All right, so we're going to get to some of that. I'm going to read a little more and we're going to start. There's another video before I come back to this one here. Okay, so but no formal public complaint was ever issued by the Judicial Tenure Commission. No formal public complaint was ever issued. I wonder why not. Okay, so which is not legally allowed to discuss investigations into judges until the formal public process begins. So is that the same with them not? I mean, can't they still have made a formal public complaint? Okay. Okay. All right, but moving on. The State Bar of Michigan and the governor's office have posted the judicial vacancy for the Oakland County Probate Court for applicants to apply for the appointment that will be made by Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The post says Judge Kathleen Ryan is the vacating judge. Judge Ryan was on the bench for more than 13 years, and when she was removed from her court, she was the chief judge pro tem for the probate court. What does pro tem mean? What does that mean? I want to know. What does that mean? Search. Okay. The chief judge pro tem is a temporary position within the judicial system, often serving as an acting chief judge when the regular chief judge is unavailable. So you're telling me the regular chief judge was unavailable for 13 years? Really? Wow. Okay, so acting authority, the chief judge pro tem assumes the responsibility of the chief judge with may include overseeing court operation, managing case assignments, and ensuring the efficient functioning of the court. It got a racist sitting right there in a high position. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness and all that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and we're going to watch this video first.
News from the 7 investigators. A local judge accused of making racist and homophobic comments is vacating her position after being removed from her docket more than a year ago.
It's a story the 7 investigators first broke in September of 2024. 7 investigator Heather Catallo is here with what she has learned.
This has been a long process. You'll recall we revealed recordings of Judge Kathleen Ryan making some shocking statements. Judge Ryan has essentially been on paid leave for 15 months and once described herself in those recordings as untouchable. The Judicial Tenure Commission has been investigating this for more than a year, but they did not take action against her. Her lawyers confirming to me late today that she is retiring, and the vacancy for her position has already been posted by the governor's office for potential candidates to apply for an appointment to the bench.
I can honestly say that. Okay, I'm not systemically racist. I'm a new racist.
The 7 investigators were the first to reveal the recordings that Oakland County officials say prompted Judge Kathleen Ryan's removal from her docket in August of 2024.
Black. I'm so off at this Black Lives Matter, hashtag Me Too. All this. Oh my God, like you.
On Wednesday, a judicial vacancy was posted on the State Bar website saying the former Oakland County Chief Probate Pro Tem Judge was vacating her position on the bench.
The Honorable Kathleen A. Ryan presiding.
Good morning. You may be seated.
Ryan was a probate judge for 13 years until the Oakland County Probate Court administrator filed a complaint against her, alleging Ryan had been harassing him, calling him after hours for years, and making racist and other inappropriate comments.
I've never met anybody that enjoys hurting people and brags about it the way she does, or intimidating people, scaring people.
Hutton says his complaint was not acted on for months, so he then sent the recordings of his calls with Judge Ryan to state and county officials.
I just want to make it right, and I want the people in Oakland County that come to court to get a fair shake, to have their day in court, to have an unbiased trier of facts.
If you're black from any other country, you're doing way better. If you're an American black person, then you're a lazy piece of.
Judge Ryan has been paid for the last 15 months while she was out of the courthouse, and taxpayers have been footing the bill for visiting judges to handle her docket. Now her lawyers say she is retiring and leaving the bench. Judicial Tenure Commission investigations are not public unless they reach the point of the JTC filing formal charges. Again, that did not happen in this case, so the results of that will not be made public. Now, meanwhile, I did speak with one of Judge Ryan's colleagues, Judge Daniel A. O'Brien. He said Judge Ryan was a good judge, and he expressed frustration that the court was left with visiting judges for so long while the JTC investigated, saying that really left a lot of cases not having continuity. So at least there's some resolution. She's retiring.
At least, and I'm sure a lot of people who have been in front of her are going back in their memories and going, wow.
Did I get a fair shake? Yeah. All right. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
That breaking news from the 7 investigators.
I agree with that. Did the people who stood in front of her and was sentenced, did they get a fair sentence? Did they get a fair shake? They should go back over and review those cases of that she resided over. This woman is so venomous, and she's sitting on a bench of authority for 13 years. And then one thing I don't understand is why did it take so long for Hutton to bring all of this to light? She'd been calling him and harassing him for years. Why did it take so long? Were they like in a relationship, and only like a secret relationship? And the only time he brought this to light is because maybe they had a falling out. I mean, listening to that hatred for years all up in my ear, I wouldn't be able to take it. So I don't know about this. Maybe There's something more that's going on. And he goes on to say, nobody with that much hate in their heart for certain people, not just individuals, but groups of people. I don't believe that they could possibly make a fair, unbiased decision regarding them. Of course not. She's the new kind of racist. Hutton told 7 investigator Heather Catalio. Hutton, he's an attorney, so he's an attorney. I don't think I would want him for my attorney, to be honest with you. If he's going to sit on hearing all that hatred from a judge for all those years, no, I wouldn't want him for an attorney. All right, so here, Hutton alleged Judge Ryan had been calling him for work and after hours for years. Okay, why did you start recording the calls? Asked Costello. Now that's a good question. But he goes on to say, I just felt like it wasn't going to change. He just felt like it just wasn't going to change, said Hutton. Nothing manipulated, and it's conversations that I was a part of. So I wonder how he responded when he heard all this hatred coming from this judge's mouth. Did he just sit there and listen, or did he also have like contributed to the conversations as well? I think I would investigate this guy also. It seems that I anticipated at some point I'll probably have to testify under oath, and I am absolutely willing to testify to the authenticity of every single one of them. And he's referring to the recording. So here's another video. I think this is part also was played in the part. I don't know. So let's just listen and see.
Well, if you're black from any other country, you're doing way better. If you're an American black person, then you're a lazy piece of...
Wow. So I wonder, I don't hear him, only hear her. So why is it just her voice on the recording and not his? I guess when he started to recording, he made a conscious decision to say just as little as possible. But I can't believe he listened to that hatred for years, and she was comfortable to call him during all kinds times of the night. So, wow. Okay, so I'm not going to read all this right here. Was already discussed in the recording. So let's see what this one has.
We begin tonight with a judge who makes life-altering decisions for families and those with disabilities, now accused of making racist comments and using shocking, derogatory language. Thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Mike Duffy. 7 investigator Heather Catallo joins us now with more about why an Oakland County probate judge has been removed from her docket. Heather?
Mike, a high-ranking probate court official says he's been recording Judge Kathleen Ryan's statements for years. Even though probate court administrator Edward Hutton says he's been harassed by Judge Ryan, he says he does not want this to be about him. Hutton says he's coming forward now because he wants to protect the people who have to face Judge Ryan in the courtroom.
The Honorable Kathleen A. Ryan presiding.
Good morning. You may be seated.
After more than 13 years on the bench, Oakland County Chief Probate Pro Tem Judge Kathleen Ryan is out of her courtroom. Chief Probate Judge Linda Hallmark removed Judge Ryan from her docket last week, announcing that a complaint about internal allegations of unprofessional conduct was sent to the Judicial Tenure Commission. Judge Ryan was arrested in 2021 for domestic violence, but those charges were later dismissed. And now she's back in the headlines.
Well, if you're black from any other country, you're doing way better. If you're an American black person, then you're a lazy piece of...
The 7 investigators have obtained the recordings that county officials say prompted Judge Ryan's removal.
Oh, he's just I have no use for him.
She's made it a living hell in the past 6 years. I mean, it's been terrible. It's cost me relationships.
6 years?
It's affected my health.
Wait, what?
Can't sleep.
Attorney Edward Hutton is the Oakland County Probate Court Administrator. He's in charge of running everything that's not under the judge's purview inside one of the state's largest probate courts. Hutton alleges Judge Ryan has been calling him both during work and after hours for years. And Hutton says during those hours and hours of calls, Judge Ryan said highly inappropriate things.
Why did you start recording the calls?
I just felt like it wasn't going to change. Nothing's manipulated in it. It's conversations that I was a part of, and I'm absolutely willing to testify to the authenticity of every single one of them.
I can honestly say that. Okay, I'm not systemically racist. I'm a new racist. I never was, but now I am because you're shoving the down my throat and making allegations that you don't know about. You're telling me who I am, and you've never met me. You. You.
Hutton says the judge also used homophobic slurs about other elected officials.
You know.
And that's not all.
A lot of times they were conversations about sexual encounters that she's having with various individuals, I mean, in intimate detail.
Hutton says for years he felt like he had to play along, and he says for years he was afraid to speak up.
I didn't want to lose my job, and I didn't want to be in her crosshairs. It's such a David and Goliath situation. I don't have the power. I'm not elected. I could get fired tomorrow.
On May 24th, Hutton says he sent Chief Judge Linda Hallmark a notice of sexual harassment.
For 3 months, nothing happened.
That's why on August 22nd, Hutton says he decided to send the recordings to the Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court, Oakland County Executive David Coulter, and other public officials. And he also contacted me.
I just want to make it right. I haven't filed a lawsuit. I'm not looking for a payday. I want to keep my job and do it in peace. And I want the people in Oakland County that come to court to get a fair shake, to have their day in court, to have an unbiased trier of fact.
In that email, Hutton said Judge Ryan, quote, has vocalized her hate and contempt for various protected groups. Once the recordings were shared with those state and county officials, Judge Ryan was removed from her docket. In a statement, County Executive Coulter said, quote, there is absolutely no place for harassment of any kind or for racist or homophobic language by anyone at Oakland County, especially by someone the public must be confident will act fairly and impartially. The alleged conduct and abhorrent comments made by Judge Ryan merited her removal from the probate court docket pending further investigation.
Is Judge Ryan fit to be on the bench?
Absolutely not. Nobody with that much hate in their heart for certain people or certain groups of people, I don't believe that they could possibly make fair, unbiased decisions regarding them.
I did reach out to Judge Kathleen Ryan to talk to her about this. Her attorneys sent me this statement that says, quote, we respect the authority of the Michigan Supreme Court. However, we look forward to vindicating Judge Ryan in the appropriate forum. I also spoke to probate judge Daniel O'Brien. He says Judge Ryan's friends are supporting her and believe these statements are totally out of character for her.
All right, certainly a lot here, but what's next with the Judicial Tenure Commission?
Well, they cannot confirm or deny whether they are pursuing an investigation. There has been some reporting that suggested that the complaint against the judge involved an inappropriate personal relationship. Hutton says that is not true. He says there was no physical contact. This was strictly a sexual harassment complaint about her alleged comments that started all of this. But again, he says the bigger issue here is what the judge says about people in protected classes, and he's hoping that that is what the JTC will focus on. So everybody's just sort of waiting to see what they will do.
And it sounds like this is in its early days. We know that you're going to stay on top of it, so
We will follow it.
Appreciate it.
No, they're going to focus. Let me cut that off. All right, I hope they focus on the entirety, because everything that come out of my mouth is allegedly. Alleged. Let's keep it alleged. Oh my goodness. So, what was I getting ready to say? Again, why did Hutton take so long to bring all this to light? And I think there a little bit more to the story than that is known at the moment, but most definitely, I do hope that the cases that she resided over be revisited and make sure that she ruled in fairness, because how it just, you know what, it doesn't boggle my mind, because the devil said the Bible does say that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So this is spiritual wickedness in high places, and that evil that she had in her heart, she definitely should not ever set foot in a courtroom, let alone a bench. So I am going to end my video here, and y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, I'm out, y'all. Be blessed.